Hello, and welcome to this video on why the human body loses 21 grams in death. This oddity has historically been argued as evidence for the human soul having mass. There is an argument for the human soul, and that is soul spelled as S-O-U-L, not soul, S-O-L-E, for the pedants. When the brain ceases and the body no longer functions, there is a loss of weight, approximately 21 grams. This claim all begins with the 1907 experiment. The 1907 experiment is also known as the 21 grams experiment. It was conducted by Duncan MacDougall, a physician from Haverfield, Massachusetts. He hypothesized that the human soul had a physical mass and tried to measure it. He selected the one patient who lost weight in death, one of 6. The patient who was selected reportedly lost 21.3 grams. This study became the bedrock for the arguments of several parties, one being the poor experimental design and another the art of biased reporting and research. However, the most widely accepted finding a group to grow out of this experiment was the soul exists party. So how was this done and why is it contentious? MacDougall selected 6 patients who were near death. He placed them on a highly sensitive apparatus to weigh them as they died. As they died, the machine measured the shift in weight. With the first patient, the machine was not calibrated. This led to their results being omitted. This left 5 patients. Of the 5 patients remaining, one had chest compressions done in an effort to resuscitate. Though this failed, it had the effect of shifting the results drastically, and they were removed. Another 2 are said to have lost weight when they died, and then gained it, and then lost more than the first time. These results were also omitted. Another patient had complications leading to their data being omitted. The final patient lost a fractional amount of weight. This is the result that is cited. Later research was conducted using dogs, but it was never able to recreate the results reliably, although it is questionable as to how accurate or inferable the data derived from dogs might be in this case. Finally, let's look at the experimental design's limitations and flaws. First and foremost, MacDougall has said that the design was limited by the number of patients and needs to be expanded to prove his results. Essentially, one data point is a data point without context. As a result, others have said that the method is fundamentally flawed. And you may wonder how this could be any more flawed. The problem lies in how the patients may have lost weight. To understand how they lost weight, it is important to understand how the lungs work. And this is simple. Chest compressions, decompression, and the weight of the chest cavity. These 3 things cause the gas to move out of the lungs and into the environment. This is tantamount to losing mass. The combinations of gases in the lungs include CO2, O2, nitrogen, and other compounds made from a mixture of elements. CO2 alone is 38 grams a mole, oxygen is 32 grams a mole, and nitrogen is 28 grams a mole. If the lungs had even 1 mole of these pure gases removed, it would explain the loss, and then some. The average alveoli within the lung has the following composition: 74.9% nitrogen, 13.7% oxygen, 0.3% CO2, and 3.7% water. The lungs have an average capacity of 6 liters of air, of which about half is kept to retain the alveolar shape and capacity. In death, this 3-liter reserve gradually seeps out. This occurs as the muscles which once held the thorax open gradually relax. Relaxing causes the muscle mass and bones to press against the lungs. This causes compression. This compression is like squeezing a ball. It would normally stay rigid and fixed, but in this case there is a tear which causes it to gradually lose air. Lost air equals lost weight. In the case of the patient who was measured, this could be explained via the extra weight of blankets that would compress the thorax when the muscles relaxed immediately after death. This would recreate the results of some of the previous patients who had chest compressions done. This further means that the body may lose weight in death via other methods. These include microbial decomposition, volatile compound sublimating, and muscle contraction. These are all viable means for a body to lose further weight in death. The oils on the skin are volatile and interact with bacteria and the atmosphere to evaporate off. This causes the body to lose mass. Bacteria eating the decomposing body also generate gases and waste. These are secreted into the air where they diffuse into the environment, effectively removing more mass. The body generates a certain amount of heat even after death, and as this radiates off into the surrounding environment, that could also be removing mass. And as discussed, muscle relaxation can have an immediate effect on retention of gas and other mass within the body, the loss of which leads to a loss in mass. Overall, even the author researcher had to admit their research was lacking. So the soul does not weigh 21 grams, but the amount of gases in the lungs might, and this would indicate that the only available evidence at the moment that substantially supported the existence of a soul is lacking. Thank you for watching this video. Please post any comments, questions, or suggestions you may have below.